My name is Stewart, and I'm here to talk about the evolution of storytelling. My background is originally as a science fiction novelist. So as a novelist, I'm incredibly interested in entertaining an audience, bringing them in, making them feel a story, and the culture of the novel. I love all that stuff. The science fiction part is that I think we tend to undervalue how much of a difference it makes what platform a story comes over. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the hardware of story delivery. I'm going to talk a little bit about a brief historical overview and then talk about the new opportunities that the digital landscape offers to us in terms of the kinds of stories we're going to tell and the ways we're going to reach audiences with them. So let's talk about Storytelling Platform 1.0. Old dead Greek blind guys. This revolutionized a space that before that was basically knock-knock jokes with mastodons. Suddenly we had a guy who was creating the fundamental epics of Western culture in the Odyssey and the Iliad. Hard to top that. And yet, with a quick run of venture funding, the ancient Greeks went to Storytelling Platform 2.0. Theater. Here you could take several bards and have them operating simultaneously, or as we say in tech, you have parallel bards. Okay, skip forward 1,500 years to the next evolution in storytelling. Of course, that's Storytelling Platform 3.0, the book. Once again, a bard, and this time the groundbreaking change is that the entertainer has to entertain only one time, but then you can take that one entertainment and copy it endlessly and put it in the houses of 1 million people across 300 years. Books became, for the next 300 years, the kind of defining way of telling stories, leading us up to, this is the scalable bard. And this takes us up to the beginning of the 20th century, where, of course, you know what Bard 4.0 is, right? Cinema. Here we have the Bard again, but now we have all the analog resources of costume design, art direction, music, actors, the whole big bag all rolled into one. And I'm just going to play this quick moment.
What's it called? Romeo and Ethel, the pirate's daughter.
What is the story?
Well, there's this pirate.
If you ever wanted to know what the life of a writer is like, that's it. Well, there's this pirate. All right, so here we have, of course, parallel scalable bard. You can see the two bards. See how they're in the transition? They're parallel there. All right. So at this point, we've now defined a rapid progress. There really have been only about 4 big evolutions in the history of storytelling. I respectfully submit that we are in the incredibly exciting position of being here for Bard 5.0, a new platform in digital storytelling that is as different from what has come before it as the motion picture camera was different from plays or books were different from bards. Digital storytelling gives us several different possible ways of connecting with audiences, unlike any there have been before. I'm going to talk about a few. First, transmedia. This is a buzzword right now, but I'll tell you the easiest way to think about it is your computer doesn't care what the 19th century production mechanism for producing your entertainment was. Record, book, doesn't care. It's all ones and zeros to your computer. Video, music, pictures, text. And let's not stop there. Let's include other things that you can now incorporate as part of your entertainment, like web pages, or searches, or email, or phone calls directly to your audience. Here's a simple mnemonic. Any way that humankind has invented to lie to one another should be part of your storytelling toolkit. Interactive. Goes without saying, right? What we're doing, here's the fundamental difference between a book and a cell phone, between a television set and a computer. A computer has a key on it called Enter. When I use my computer, I expect to be able to touch it and make something happen. My phone, I talk into it. When you start building entertainment on the personal devices of your audience, when you start sending entertainment to anything with a chip in it, you have to respect that platform. That platform wants to do things, and one of the things it wants to do is let the guy at the other end push back. Lastly, everyone's talked about it today, we have, not since Homer's fireside have we had such intense ability to have a social experience of entertainment, okay? Except now we can make scalable social entertainment. We can use Twitter and Facebook and mobile phones and instant messaging to create audiences that are having the experience of your work of art in real time collaboratively together. In short, we can make Woodstock but for stories. And shouldn't we? All right, I'll walk through some examples. Let's talk about transmedia. This is a book. It's called Kathy's book. But as you notice, it says Kathy's book, if found, call, and there's a phone number. And if you go into a bookstore, before you even open the book, you can call that phone number and you will hear Kathy's voice message and you will be in the story. It will already be happening before you read the book. Every phone number in the book is real and live, and you can call it. Every website that's mentioned in the book, you can browse to, and there's more of the story there. Every time you see an email address, you can write to it and you'll get a response, okay? The book extends outside the edges of the printed object. Now, when you take something like that and you think, okay, what is the ebook version like? The publishers for Kathy's book did a really cool thing. I was just starting to talk about the challenge of making an ebook for a book that's already kind of an ebook. Side point, I myself love the idea of something like a Kindle because I have lots of books at home. They're really heavy. The idea of it being portable, that's awesome. But from the point of view of where we are here, from TED, it's pretty obvious, right, that that's a very transitional technology. Taking a bunch of printed text and putting it on a computer screen, that's not what the platform wants to be any more than when the first motion picture cameras were invented and people were filming stage plays. That's not what movies wanted to be. That's not what the platform was asking for. So the publisher, when they went to do an ebook for Kathy, set themselves the challenge of, okay, what would that mean really? What does it mean to make a book that really is attempting to live on the platforms of today? I will show you a brief video of what they came up with.
This is Kathy's book for the iPod Touch and the iPhone. Just swipe to begin to hear a message from Kathy.
I know it all sounds crazy, so I'm leaving you the proof in case I don't come back.
You can give Kathy a call.
Hey, this is Kathy, and I can't get to the phone right now.
And just tilt to begin.
Dumped by boyfriend last night. Horrendous fight with mom this morning. Forgot about math test this afternoon.
The story continues in Kathy's journal. There are animations and surprises throughout, like Kathy's drawings and her doodles. There's also a list of evidence that you can use to help Kathy solve a mystery.
All right, you get the idea. So now, I just told you about that. You could actually phone in here Kathy's answering machine. But wouldn't it be funner if you could talk to Kathy? So that's about what this next project is. We built this for something, it was associated with the movie Eagle Eye, but we built a 10-minute experience that was going to plunge you into that world. So you would submit your phone number, and immediately thereafter, you would get a call on the phone. And we used voice recognition software so that you would actually be talking to that person as you were assigned a task, which was to hunt down someone who was supposed to be doing a mission, but who was trying to run out on it instead. That's poor hapless Phil, you will see in your top left-hand corner. So over the course of this, you are actually going to be plunged into an actual spy thriller, and what you say in your phone, using it as a phone, and what you type on your computer, using it as a computer, are genuinely going to affect the course of the narrative. So you're in here trying to take Phil, and whoa, we skipped on. We've lost sound. There we go. So you find out Phil's license plate, you put it into the address, it tracks down where he's driving, and then you see the scene through the camera on his cell phone, and then it hooks you up with Phil, and you're desperately trying to convince Phil that he's got to turn around. He can't abandon his mission. But if you fail, terrible, terrible things happen to poor Phil. So we have lovely YouTube videos of people sitting in their offices going, Phil! Phil, come back! All right, so next we worked on trying to make a project that would sort of combine all of these things, okay? It's got the transmedia elements, it's delivered over the web, it's delivered in video, it's delivered in audio, text, player participation. It's interactive. Players not unlock the story and actually can change the course of the story from time to time. And we tried to make it Woodstock. We tried to make it a social storytelling collaborative experience. I apologize for the quality of the film, but you can see to what extent we succeeded. This was a project called I Love Bees, built for the release of the video game Halo 2.
It's early in the morning on August 24th. ilovebees.com is just updated with a list of over 200 sites. They gave GPS, longitude, and latitude, and now it's up to us to get to one of these sites to answer what is apparently going to be a payphone, give it a code word and a nickname, and all of a sudden that will unlock an axon. Once all these axons are activated online, it unlocks a hidden message. So far it's been WAV files with gibberish or background story, we think, for Halo 2.
Jen, I've got the pass box over here.
Coming.
We have arrived at a bank of payphones here on 2nd and Colorado. We're waiting for a phone call which should come in, well, within any minute now. So let's go meet the people standing by.
So far, the phrases seem to be pulled from the bits of dialogue. Once all of these dialogues are known, they can be rejumbled into the correct order to, present a story.
Crew member, what is my nickname?
Operator?
What's your name?
This is Onitech Alec with the Berkeley crew.
Lieutenant Watson, Lieutenant John the Man, Lieutenant Mr. Bojangle.
Soldier, what kind of special skill do you offer my crew?
I play guitar
Where is your guitar?
in the trunk of my car.
Put the phone down and go get your guitar.
Yes, ma'am.
Run. I need you to tell me a joke.
So, what do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know.
Ground beef?
At a San Francisco convention commemorating the end of the game, attendees got to play Halo 2 several days before it hit stores and meet the creators of I Love Bees. But the main attraction for many were the so-called beekeepers themselves.
If this had just been a Halo 2 preview or even playing like they're doing right now, a lot of these people wouldn't come. It's the community first and last. That's the whole benefit of this kind of game, is that it pulls people together rather than separating them out.
I'm scared.
All right, so that was I Love Bees. One thing I've been talking about is the potentiality of what happens when you deliver stories to something with a chip in it. Let's talk about the trade-off, because there is a cost, okay? This kind of entertainment involves a transfer of power. what you can probably only barely see up there is a screenshot from something called altfanfiction.net. This is a site where people write stories in their favorite worlds. And the point I'm trying to make is that it's easy to say that a story is interactive when you hit a button and something happens. I'm talking about the democratization of the web at a whole different level. If you look at the various stories up there in this tiny snippet, you will see some of the usual suspects, Babysitter's Club and the Bible, clocking in at 3,000 stories. And just up at the top, hiding, Handmaid's Tale. How many of us write Handmaid's Tale fan fiction? Yeah, okay, not many. The number there by Harry Potter is 446,735 stories on fanfiction.net alone. Think about that for a minute. The vast majority of words ever written about Harry Potter or Hogwarts have not been written by J.K. Rowling. A substantial majority of the words ever read about Harry Potter have not been written by J.K. Rowling. 100 years ago, James Joyce said, an artist should stand above his work indifferent, like a god paring his fingernails. We are not gods anymore. The locus of power in our stories is shifting to those 445,000 other authors. And that's something that we need to respect and enjoy. Art at this point, at Bard 5.0, is not about us dictating to an audience, it's a dance. It's a hold out your hand and ask if the other person would like to play too. I will do a brief thing. I don't know if it'll, because my clock's not fixed, I don't know if it'll turn up on the talk, but a small example of distributed barding in our own work, or this trying to make two-way things from Kathy's. In the second book, we put up, as you will have seen from Kathy, she draws, she doodles, she does art. So we put on an online gallery and invited the readers to upload their drawings and their art, which is fairly standard in some senses. User-created content is a big buzzword. And then we went around and we contacted the people whose stuff we liked, and we said, would you like to see your drawing in the next printed edition of the book? So we did that. And these are drawings by people, readers of the Kathy's book around the world, who not only let Kathy come into their world, talk across their cell phones and write emails into their inboxes, but Kathy actually took their creative work into her world in the version that appeared in the bookstore at the end. It's a dance, and that's my story.